Cheers, the Stinky Popcorn Boys!
We watch movies and eat popcorn. And you're stinky.
Hello. We are the Stinky Popcorn Boys. Just some boys talking about movies and how they made us feel. I am Patrick Basketball, and I have never put on the armor, and I never will, because I would never desecrate that religious sect that way.
I'm John Gilardi, and season 2.5 of Mandalorian is pretty good, I guess.
Ooh! Also, John, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come at you. I felt like I came at you.
What,
in
for wearing the armor?
Yeah.
I didn't take it as a slight.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I think I'm Patrick Basketball, and I wish that I had armor to put on. That's it.
I know.
That was it.
After watching this season,
that's what I really wish.
I just want to go put on my armor. I have a essentially almost screen accurate replica or whatever of the Mandalorian suit.
That's
it's
pretty
fucking sick. Yeah.
It's pretty fucking sick, dude.
Well, and watching this, it's like, I'd say 90% there. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. There's like some like little details. Like I think you're like, and this is one of the things that they do in, because I've looked at like movie costuming for like a lot of like for like the Star Wars stuff and for like Marvel, is that they like a lot of those they're layers. So like if you look at Mando's, he's got like sort of like a t-shirt on and then like a long sleeve shirt underneath it. And I think that's so that you can, so that because if things are all one piece, they don't fucking sit cool. Like I think all of the Marvel stuff, they're essentially vests, even though they're like sort of like made to look like they're one, because if it's one piece, it doesn't fold and bend the way that looks the coolest.
I mean, I'm watching the beginning of season 6, and there's all these different characters, and they're all wearing vests, or they have some kind of sleeves and layers over, as you mentioned. But in case you didn't pick it up, we are talking about the Book of Boba Fett, the latest Star Wars TV show, the second one of live action to come out. Obviously, we've had the Clone Wars, Rebels, Squadron.
What's the new one? There's a new animated one, isn't there?
The Bad Batch.
The Bad
Batch. Which is essentially an extension of the Clone Wars. But so that's what we're talking about here. And it's, I think, for like in terms of the pulse check, if you will, is very it's very divisive. It's very polarizing. Those are the words I want.
Yeah.
And I think we're here to discuss that. I think this will be truly an interesting discussion, because I think we fall more or less on the same side. So we're going to just be here pointing our fingers at,
which is always good. Which is always good to sort of, always good to have a discussion where everybody agrees. But I also think that it's like, I don't know, it's very weird because like the first 4 episodes, is it the first 4 episodes, and the 5th episode is where it's like it like completely went off the rails. Not completely went off the rails, but you know what I mean, where it was just like, it's so Boba
bizarre.
Fett's not in this episode at all. But the first 4 episodes are like, I was like pretty bored with them, to be honest. But also like, all right, this is Boba Fett's story. We're figuring out Boba Fett's thing. And then it becomes, it's like, it's cool because it's like, hey, look at this big world that we've got. And like, we can go out, and this is like also part of this sort of like chapter in this story. And it's like, hold on, this is the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Like, why are we
the name itself insinuates such a slice of life, if you will. And, you know, they can't wait to get to this multiverse kind of, or not multiverse, cinematic universe stuff. And it's so disjointed. I am actively enjoying the content I'm seeing, but I'm stressed out and not about pinballing between seasons of different shows to get a story. Like, right out the gate, or just to put it out there fully, episodes 1 through 4 are Boba Fett stories, and then all of a sudden, episodes 5 and 6 are just full-on Mandalorian episodes with huge, like the ramifications and the things that happen in these
Yeah.
episodes of episodes 5 and 6 are bigger than the things that actually happen in season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like Grogu deciding which path he makes.
Yeah.
Din Djarin like kind of coming out as like maybe breaking some of their religious creeds. The more of the saber and what we learn about the saber, what it represents, and it's just like the Mandalorian is such a big show, and the overlap is probably upper 90% of people who watch this or who watch Mandalorian will watch this, whatever. But still, I think it's a dangerous territory to play in. And
It's just
contained stories are okay. I don't
yeah.
know. And bring the Mandalorian, bring Din Djarin or Din Djarin,
Yeah.
whatever.
Honestly,
bring him into the story. That's cool, but like it's just it got insane. Also, he got a new ship. That's a big thing.
that's
that
fucking
happened.
yeah. And I think too, like this is something where it's like if this is the Book of Boba Fett, then I want to see fucking Boba Fett do stuff, and like I want to see Boba Fett do his things. And again, like I don't necessarily mind, like you were just saying, I don't mind the Mandalorian coming in. I don't mind any of this stuff happening, but it needs to be from the perspective of on Tatooine and Boba Fett, And it's like, why are we going all over the place with Din? Why are we staying with Grogu so much? Why are we seeing this fucking bad CGI of Luke Skywalker? It's better, I guess, than the other one, but it's still
better.
like, it's definitely better, but it's also definitely still obviously CGI. And I would prefer, honestly, just cast Sebastian Stan at it. Quit doing this, or cast.
The age
like-
lines up with Sebastian Stan, and you can grow into the Luke as you
Yeah.
do more and more content with him.
Because obviously that's what you want. You set it in this place so that you could have it, and like
I mean, Ahsoka was fan casted. Why can't like it's like the worst, not a worst kept secret, but something of that vibe. Like, just fucking cast the dude.
everybody is chill with it. Mark Hamill is like, hey, I'm about it. Sebastian Stan is like, hey, shit, if you guys want me to do this, I'll do it. And it's like, and I feel like the internet is also like, why not? Fuck it. Who gives a shit? And at the end of the day, it's like, fuck it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. And it's not like there wasn't a precedent with Aiden Urquhart or whatever his name is for Han Solo. So it's like, and that was fine, He was a highlight of that, of how he was able to transform and adapt a performance, I guess, of an iconic character. Like he did a good job.
I
for what
thought
it's worth. And
yeah, I don't think that he was the problem with that movie. I think that I think that honestly that movie is probably a little bit better looking back at it. They're trying to pack too much stuff in, and like they're doing a lot of weird stuff and that they've done and sort of like revisiting of things, but also like I also it's like I just don't think that movie. I think it was timing, and I think that there was just a lot of weird stuff with that movie where it was just like, I mean, really at the end of the day, it's like, did we need this movie? Even more so than what was the Matrix Revolutions or whatever.
What
the
movie?
fuck.
Did you mean show? Do we need
No,
this movie?
I'm talking about Solo.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
Solo. Like this is fine. This is this is a show. It feels like small scale. It's cool. It's like what made like New Hope good.
Yeah. Well, it's living on Tatooine, which is cool. But
Yeah.
I think this show is. I think this is one of those doesn't need to exist. I think this show is like pretty much every boy growing up that saw Star Wars. I can speak for every boy growing up because we're all the same. I don't know about girls who watched, but every single fucking kid thought Boba Fett was the coolest motherfucker out there, and it's
Every
it's
boy.
just here. It's why we have the Mandalorian. It's why we have this show. It's why Jango Fett came back, and why the clone troopers are Jango Boba Fett guys.
I mean,
like,
it's also why they have a million
people
fucking
think it's-
iterations of Power Rangers. Like just like
Yeah.
having a cool costume and having like cool weapons and stuff like that. It's people about it.
It's cool. People love helmets, and it's one of the coolest helmets, and all these different things. So there was this huge demand for this thing from these kind of there was impossible expectations to be met because you're trying to meet the expectations of millions, tens of hundreds of millions to whatever degree, of people who had an idea of this guy as a child, you know, and then there's an expanded universe that delivered on that.
And I'll say it's Mandalorian season 2
fantasy.
fucking did it, dude. Like
it did it.
Like it delivered, and I was like, all right, hell yeah, fuck yeah, Boba Fett's back, doing some Boba Fett shit, fucking swinging at some stormtroopers. I'm about it. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think it did that job. So it's like, I don't think it needed to happen, but that it happened, I'm okay with what they did in terms of his story. And I think the show had some good momentum. Like it started slow, but it was actually building up. And the 4th episode was the best of the Boba Fett episodes. And you're like, hell yeah, like the pieces are coming together. He's getting his team together. You know, there's going to be a huge battle. It's going to be sick. You know, it's going to be like, we got the big Wookiee, you know, fighting for us now, and Din is going to come, and I don't know, all these cool things, you know, and then we just divert for a really cool stuff that I liked, but just about the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And then we come back to a finale that doesn't know what it wants to be, and we can talk about that. That could be its own podcast, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'll save that for later. It's weird. Also, they introduce and bring back so many characters. You have Ahsoka, you have Luke Skywalker,
who's a
Din,
fucking
obviously.
massive character. That's like,
and then Cad Bane is huge. It's crazy, and it's like the Mandalorian has set that up as that's kind of the vibe of that show. Yeah. But why did we have to bring that shit into Mando? And it's like also done through Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. You know, it's like not even Boba Fett's experiences that he's meeting these new characters. It's all through the Mandal. It's just so bizarre.
Yeah. This definitely.
I'm not complaining in the sense of the content I got. I'm happy seeing this stuff. I want to watch everything, so I'm not missing out. And I know the vast majority aren't, but it's weird, and I don't think it's a good way to do it in the long run.
It's a very interesting.
Or when people want to look back, you know, like maybe a 9 or 10-year-old kid in 20 years. This kid is 9 or he's not born yet, but he's like, I like Star Wars. I'm gonna like I don't know. It's just not going to be easy to consume, I think, and I think that's a shitty thing.
Yeah, it definitely feels like
I'm off my.
I love it, dude.
My box.
Stay on your box, dude. It definitely feels like backstory. That like could have been explained in like it's like feels like backstory that could have been explained
could have done
in
a
like
movie event
or
something like.
I mean, honestly, yeah, like they could have done something and maybe kept it a little bit tighter, and maybe that would have felt those first 4 episodes feel a little bit better if they had like, hey, here's a movie event that's like sort of like going to satiate you. Well, obviously they want as much content as possible, so they're not going to do that. But like storytelling wise, it's like, all right, he was with the Tuskens. He got fucked over with the Tuskens. The Tuskens like are cool. Like Anakin had it wrong or whatever, however you want to like play it. And it's like, no, there's a lot more going on there than we have always thought. And then you have like flash forward to the now, and then, you know, and that's the Book of Boba Fett, rather than like, it just feels like stuff that we could have been watching Mandalorian season 3, and like come back to Tatooine to help. Like this could have been an episode essentially.
This could have been this could have been just
or 2 episode arc
on things. Like he's checking in on Boba, and he's like, "Oh shit, you got this drama. Here I am to help you out." You know, like that's all there needs to be to it. And you know, there is cool stuff. There is cool developments, and people are upset that he isn't a total Chad. And that's what I was touching on earlier, as people have this imagination of who he is or what he could be, and that's dumb. That is not interesting. You're probably the same people who have issues with Luke not being a total Chad either.
Oh, and then also say that Rey is a Mary Sue.
Yeah, it's just so weird.
She's too powerful. Luke's not powerful enough.
That kind of stuff is there. It's good to consume. It's called fan fiction, but like really good storytelling. You're gonna get stuff like this where, and if you ask for this, they're gonna give it to you. But if you ask for this story about this man you want to see a story of, they're not just gonna deliver you like a masturbatory, action-packed thing. You have to have highs and lows and development.
Yeah.
And Boba Fett, honestly, besides what we saw in Mandalorian season 2, we don't really know the guy. There's some stuff in Clone Wars, and he's a very angsty kid, kind of working with the crime syndicates and stuff. Very upstarty, whatever. But we get to learn who the man is. Yeah. And that's who he is. It's not this idea of it's just total cold-blooded badass. He's a guy who's jaded. We actually see the formulating experiences with him and the Tuskens, and digging himself out of a Sarlacc pit. He's just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done doing shit for idiots. Bad leaders and bad people, and not bad as in evil, but like incompetence. And he's like, I'm gonna look out for myself, and he builds this team of outcasts in a way, and it's really compelling. And the end is not satisfying, and it's like this. There's this build of him building his unit of his homies, people who are like him, that he identifies with, and all these different things.
And then he has to fucking bring Mando in, and it's like,
and then he brings Mando in, and then the Freetowners get just as much of a spotlight in the 11th hour, and it's just like, cool, I guess, but just it takes away from the Boba Fett story. The Freetowners. I'm burping everywhere. It takes away from the Boba Fett story. But the Freetowners, Cobb Vanth, the Mando himself, that is all that side of the story. Nando's and Boba Fett's people, they kind of take a backseat there.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird how they becomes crowded.
Yeah, it really.
And then there's
the
weird girl power moment with the Mod girl and the random Freetowner, and. At
the end.
That's just like, why, guys? Like, let it play out. But like, this is such a it was such a like manufactured girl power moment.
I didn't feel that one as bad at that moment as bad, but I definitely like. If it does feel like,
I think in that moment it was, because it was just the action and the pacing and the reason of what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's just like, why do you need to have two people go like barely away from you, just elevated and shoot?
There's a lot of really interesting like sort of like
also just putting it out there. I'm not like
a
neckbeard incel guy.
You do have a neck
problems with maybe, but I have no issue. I have no issue with representation and mixing things up and getting away from all white dudes. I just need to disclaim that. I'm just saying that was very hand-fisted to me. On top of just a mess.
I mean, again, it kind of goes to like the Marvel ladies moment, where it's just like, this could have been really like there. I feel like there's like I feel like by having moments like that, some of these like old white dudes who are in power, and like making the storytelling decisions are sort of like showcasing how hard it is for them to think of things like that happen organically, that are just like viewing. I think that's one of the things that sticks out about like the Marvel women thing, or maybe even this, where it's just like, look, we are having the women go up and be the hero. We're having all the women characters come. And again, as a cis straight white dude, I don't know, maybe I don't have an opinion that matters on this, but it is just like, it feels like they're telegraphing how hard it is for them to think of ways to organically have women be in power, when it's just like, just have them be fucking powerful. Like, you got kept like,
yeah.
I don't know why it's hard. Just you've got their superpowers. They're superheroes.
Well, the frustrating thing is they've done it well in this world of whatever, because they did it with the final episode of season 2 of Mandalorian, when you had Cara Dune and the two Mandalorian girls. I'm forgetting her name. But you know what I'm talking about, where they're just kicking ass, fighting their way, where Din is doing his thing and Boba's in the ship.
Yeah, because
and,
that's
Fennec's
just
with
the
them too.
that's just the
It's
way
just
that it played out.
Yeah, exactly. Or in Game of Thrones, how all the leadership is women who are rallying around Daenerys. You know, it's just it's I don't know, it just happened, I guess, and it just storytelling, and it came to be, I guess, and it wasn't, you know, that the Lady Marvel people assemble glory shot in the middle of a battle.
Well, which is like I don't know. I didn't think about this because there's definitely like a lot of like really interesting logistical choices where it's like the speeder bike thing. It feels like a really weird low speed chase. I know that it's supposed to be like a high speed, like
the parkour thing and then the bike chase stuff.
Yeah,
it just is like that took me back to TV shows before they had budgets. That feeling.
Yeah,
and ultimately, I didn't love it. I wish it wasn't there, but it's not like I'm not like getting my pitchfork and saying Star Wars ruined or something. I guess I'm not being an apologist for it, but I'm also
listen, man. If you're still watching fucking Star Wars content after the Rise of Skywalker, after all the shit you talked about Rise of Skywalker, I don't know what could get you to get a pitchfork out. You know?
Yeah, I love this stuff, but I will call it what's stupid. Obviously, I did with Rise of Skywalker. But I honestly, the design of the bikes didn't bother me. I just wish they were more weathered. And
they were pretty clean.
I think they were a callback to American Graffiti, George Lucas, which is a deep cut.
Oh.
So I think that's why they exist. And I didn't mind the Mod Squad. I mean, the spinning shot was stupid. And the bikes, I just wish the bikes were more weathered.
Yeah.
I don't mind them. Maybe a few less headlights because they have a lot of like weird kind of these weird vestige. I don't know what the words I'm looking for.
Vestigial?
Yeah, I don't know what the word is. It just has like octopus arms of headlights for some reasons on these stupid things.
I really gotta see. I really gotta see the darkness. It is sun
I don't know.
all the time, even when
Also,
it's nighttime.
small thing, the Boba, how he doesn't have a sling or anywhere to attach his rifle. It's just like he's always carrying it in his hand. It's just, and like everyone else has a way to put away their stuff. It just seems inefficient. It seems not thought out. It doesn't seem like a sustainable thing, I guess. So to me, I'm just like, all right, they gave Tamara Morrison his prop. He's walking around with it, you know? Like it took me out of that kind of jumping around here.
I also think it's pretty funny that it felt like they took his helmet off as often as possible, which again is fine because I know that he's not Mando. So it's like, oh, you're right. They have those are rear view mirrors. I'm looking at they have rear like the girl mod squad has like 1 million mirrors. Looks like
still too much though.
No, but they're mirrors. She has 6 mirrors on either side. And she can't even see into them. She can't even see into her rear view mirrors, which again, I'm being incredibly picky about this, but I'm just like looking at it now and it's just like, huh.
Well, yeah. I pointed out for a reason. It looks dumb. I think they could still be colorful, but weather them, and I think it'd be fine. It just stick out so much, and I think they want them to stick out because they're used counterculture kind of new energy. Screw the boomers, type energy.
Yeah,
I get it. I'm getting it. I am understanding what you're doing for me.
I am understanding what you are saying to me,
but it is not working. To me, it's not a matter of this doesn't feel like Star Wars, because Star Wars is weird, and just people. There'll be a time where this is established to look in Star Wars and it comes back and no one will say anything. Think of Coruscant. That was so different. Naboo, that was so different, from what Star Wars had always ever been. So it's just a relativity thing and member berries or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I don't know. What was your overall view on the mod squad? That seems to be one of the most divisive things is this mod squad thing, and even the mod tattoo parlor with essentially a tattoo artist guy.
I think Thundercat. I think that
weird.
was Thundercat too, the musical artist Thundercat from what I know. But also, I could have been fooled by the internet. It's very possible. I mean, I think that they should have used their mods more. Like, I think that's one of my things. That would be like a thing that would be a Patrick Basketball thing that annoys me is whenever, like, if you have like a body modification and you don't use it, and if it feels like it's for like purely aesthetic reasons, like why do you have it? Like, what is it? Why is it there? If you have a body modification, use it. And I think that the guy who had the eye, he only used it a couple times, or he used it maybe once.
Well, as far as minor as he is, I mean, I think one usage is fair.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I don't really think too much about them either way. Like, they didn't take me out of it. Like, to be completely frank, they didn't take me out of it, but they didn't really add a whole lot to me. Like, I guess I get it, but I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it felt like
they
were sort of like an encapsulation of all the things that were happening in this shows, where it's just like, we were just trying to do a lot of stuff, and you were trying to put a lot of things into it, and like, I don't think that none of it was necessarily bad, but it didn't feel entirely cohesive.
Yeah. Oh, I think where they really should have fit in was a simple storytelling means for them to have a lot of red shirts. You know, they use the Freetown people as the red shirts. And, you know, I don't, and also the scale of it is weird too. When you have like 13 Freetowners and like 7 modders, and then you have Chrysanthemum, I can't say his name, and then you have 2 Gamorreans and like just this army he's built up. It's like, okay, I guess like at first it's like, oh man, how are they're outnumbered? It's gonna be crazy. But then you see the enemy, and besides the Pikes, like the other rival gangs, there's like 10 of them each too.
Yeah.
So it's just like this big epic fight just feels weird, and not to mention terribly paced at the end. I'm talking about episode 7 specifically.
Yeah. Are you talking about like the sort of like the everybody gets not sabotaged? Oh man, ambush.
Yeah.
Like the sort of like the multi-level ambush, which is again, it's one of my favorite things. I love like a multi-level ambush. We got God on multiple different ways. How do we not see this coming? And like the lack of tension that they built with that was like, oh wow, like this is one of my favorite storytelling tropes. Give it to me good, you know.
There wasn't good tension, obviously, and then like same, maybe just different way to say the same thing, but the dread wasn't there either, you know. And also,
like I didn't feel like they were gonna get annihilated, like
yeah.
Like in The Godfather, when
died,
fucking yeah, but they just got chucked off a cliff. I feel like all but like one of the mods should have died. Like they need to be down, and I think too, you should have. Again, this kind of goes to what you were just sort of saying, I guess. Well, but sort of like a jumping off point of it. I'm using that where it's like, all right, so we've got our 13 mods or 7 modders. What if it's only 3? You know, like by the end of it, and we only get to know 3 of them. You know, we've only got these 2 green guys. What did you call them? Gamorreans?
Yeah.
All right, so we've got 2 Gamorreans. We've got 1 Wookiee. We've got 3 modders, and then we've got like that's getting close to a lot of people to pay attention to. But it's also much more doable, and we would give a shit when they die. And so if all but one of the modders don't make it, you know, then that also feels a little like, it feels like the stakes. Because that's one of the things that just like even like just getting pushed off the cliff, it feels like super anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like they were given the opportunity to prove how cool they were. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it would have been cool to see them. I mean, they did a few things, but There's just they pack so much in that the things that can do well or cool you want to see more of, you see too little of or none at all.
Well,
So
and then too with Fennec, where she just like goes and is just like, guess what? I'm just gonna go take out all the bad guys, and it's just like that wasn't hard for you at all.
That was either really dumb writing, or she had other scheduling conflicts, which I don't know about that because she makes her.
I don't think I
stunt
can't.
woman.
I can't imagine.
I just don't see her being that busy where Star Wars doesn't take precedent.
Where she's getting a face roll wouldn't take precedent.
Exactly.
Where it's like, I can't that's like that feels like, I don't know. Give her a cool moment. Make it hard.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels like we're trying to we're like shifting in scale throughout this entire thing. Well, especially towards the end where it's like, look how many we're doing a gun battle and they're pinned down, and then we're doing a gun battle and we're pinned down and we've got all these people, and then also there's not that many of them, they're outnumbered, but also they're fine, and then it's just like
it feels so small. Like if it's gonna be small, live with it,
Yeah.
But it's the ending sequence is just so lame, and I almost think like it could, like with what they have, if they cut 20 minutes out of this episode, it'd be just a little bit better.
Also,
but there's those running shots of the pack of Boba's people running away from the walkers getting shot.
Yeah.
And it's just like they cut to that kind of shot so much, and it's just like, you mean to tell me he hasn't hit any of these guys? And how is he keeping up with full running, 15-mile-per-hour humans, when we only see them go a certain set speed? It's just like, it's like bad tension. Like the tension doesn't register because you're seeing it. You're seeing the rules that they're presenting you with speed and whatever. But then the way it's cut to make up for that lost time or that gap, or you're not shown the gap. I don't know. It's just dumb.
It's sort of like it's
it
cut
ruins the
to
tension.
it's sort of like it's cut to give it impact, but I don't give a shit about these characters. Is really what it is.
I only
really
cared
what
about
it
the
comes
Wookiee.
down to. Yeah, that's the
And
only
not
one
because
I cared about.
they haven't given me any reason to really care about him.
I care about the Rancor.
Besides that, he's just cool and I want to know more. Yeah, the Rancor too. I mean, as far as like a Ex Machina, that was a good oh fuck, I actually forgot about that. And maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
But that was fun. But that also lasted too long.
Yeah.
Primarily with
and then there's
Grogu.
no.
Or when he's rampaging and all of Boba Fett's gang, it's like, shoot him. Like, what the fuck? That's
Why?
so dumb.
You
Don't.
just saw. Why would you shoot him?
And
You
then-
just saw Boba Fett riding on him. Why would you do that?
And that gives us 10 minutes of just stupid drama and like Grogu making friends with him. Like, I didn't need to see that. Like, why did Grogu need to have a moment there?
Yeah.
I like what I saw of Din being like smart and not
attempting.
Not a trigger happy guy. I liked seeing him be like, no, stop, and being
Shut
a
up,
smart,
guys.
like being the smart one. I think that showed him as both like a very capable warrior, but also very smart, which is cool. I think he's just the best character on the show.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it definitely is kind of like, so it's like a D&D campaign of fucking absolute whack jobs who are just like, I'm not paying attention to anything that's happening in the story. And then there's one player who's just like, hold on, guys. We just need to talk to this person. We don't need to kill them. Where he's just the one who's been paying attention. Like he's definitely dropped from a different thing. And then there's like, I would say too with the Rancor, like it's fine. It's a very cool moment. And I'm glad that we got it. And it was like, but it was like something that was set up and then like, there was no build to it, like not really. Like it's something that, again, it's a really weird nitpicky thing, but it's like, where does Boba have the downtime to like bond with this thing to allow? Because the way that Danny Trejo said,
yeah, we missed episodes and potential development. Like we're missing at least one scene, of something.
Yeah,
there. But we went and hung out with Din and Yoda, and not Yoda, Luke and Grogu, and
Grogu.
Ahsoka, you know. And
Yeah, say his name. They're trying to get rid of his name. They're like,
Baby
oh,
Yoda.
that's a stupid name. With Amy Sedaris.
yeah.
But
See, I like love and not love. I hate her character, but it's also like you could still be here. I don't mind
Yeah.
you at the same time. It's a weird,
they
it's a weird
feel-
thing. It's like
they feel like that the Amy Sedaris character feels like a very Star Warsy character. I don't know why. Like it feels like a George Lucas character where it's like definitely sort of a caricature, but also like knowledgeable and stupid at the same time. Like I don't know. Like they fit to me.
yeah, as I just said myself. Don't
No.
necessarily
I'm
like it, but I
disagreeing
don't think
with
it
you.
can go away.
We're disagreeing.
But agreeing. We're
Yes.
agreeing and disagreeing. We're agreeing but to disagree. There's something there.
There's
a
something
word,
there.
some wordplay.
There's some word. We could do some word stuff. Yeah, I would say on a whole, this story is backstory that doesn't need to happen.
Well, the
not
Mandalorian stuff needs to happen. It's just
The
happening. at
Mandalorian
wrong
stuff is
place.
great. Like again, like all the episode 5 and episode 6 for the most part, and I feel like that's the biggest fucking failing of this show is that when we come back to Boba Fett and all of his stuff, it feels like, oh shit, I'm disappointed that we're back here. You know?
Yeah, it just
And
shows
it's
you
like,
how good Mandalorian is.
Yeah. And it's like, I guess I know you want to get that bump or whatever. You want to get the Mando bump to try and get him in there. But also, like, why you got to do Boba dirty that way and, like, fucking make
it's
him a
Boba
side
Fett.
character? Yeah.
He's already interesting enough, or at least the demand's there, you know, and they were setting up something interesting, like disgruntled bounty hunter trying to look out for his own. Like, that's interesting, and, like, that's such a fan servicey setup, you know, like, maybe he gets a Bosk, like that Trandoshan bounty hunter, or that one of the T11 or T12 or whatever those drones are, that, like, a different version of who Taika Waititi played.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something there, you know, and the rivalry between Boba and Cad Bane is cool, but it comes to an unsatisfactory end with him being stabbed. It's like Cad Bane was all like, we were as surprised and unsatisfied as Cad Bane was getting stabbed. Like, oh, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
that sucked.
So you
I don't know.
you were a Clone Warsy guy, and so you knew
Yeah.
about it. So how did you feel about Cad Bane and both the makeup and his portrayal and how that went? Because for
It
me,
looks cool, and I think it's neat because he is old, and so it's a cool kind of any way he looks different, I can attribute to that, and you know, I buy that. And then I think the makeup was cool. I think above all, his silhouette is super neat and super on the nose, Western samurai kind of vibe that Star Wars always has, you know. And so it was cool to just have that classic scene with him and Cobb Vanth. And just whenever he's on screen, he just looks so cool.
yeah,
With the Tatooine setting and the blue skin contrast, and just a flat brim hat, and I don't know.
do you think that he's dead?
I don't know. I don't
think
buy
he's
it that
dead.
he's dead. Maybe Boba wants to rehabilitate him or something. Like, hey, dude, let's stop working for idiots. Look where it got you. I stabbed you.
Yeah,
Like, I think that's where Boba Fett's story gets interesting, is that stuff. Maybe. It got interesting with the setup they had here. It was interesting. But that's obviously all been resolved by a Rancor in the streets.
Rancor in the streets.
Yeah.
I think that this was a good first draft, and I would like to see them rewrite it. They're not going to, especially not for me. But I really think that, like, I think that there's a more, like, if I was John and they were Patrick turning in the first edit of a music video, I'd be like, okay, cool, great. Let's cut some of this stuff with Mando. We can make that its whole, like, own video. and let's try to really focus in on what Boba is doing here, because it feels like we could get all of his backstory and like his setup in like 2 episodes, but we stretch it over 4, and like let's make it more like The Godfather. I don't know, maybe an idea here. We make it like a Western Godfather. And also, there's probably a better reference in a Western for someone coming over and taking over town, and I just don't know it off the top of my head. Because it's like, I feel like that's there, but we get distracted, and I feel like Boba takes the moral high ground on things in places where he could like take the moral high ground, but then also be like making a profit or making his army stronger, when it feels like he's just like taking the moral high ground because he's a good person, and he can still be a good person, but like I think that he needs to be better at what he does, because I don't think that watching this I'm like, oh, he would be a good crime boss, or what he's trying to be is a crime boss. I don't know. I just want to see him be more like Don Corleone. Really, is what it is.
Well, to me, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't clear what he wanted. Like, did he want power, or did he want better life for his people? You know, like I think before, like up to episode 4, there's a total like just playing just power game. Like he's playing for power, and he's hardballing it, and he's like strutting his stuff. He's like, no, I'm the leader. I'm the daimo, or whatever. And then episode 6, 7, it becomes like, I'm fighting for our people. This is our home.
You don't know them.
And it just shifts, and it's like we never saw him adopt this place. You know, you maybe can infer that the time with the Tusken Raiders did, but like they're just, it isn't communicated well. The story isn't told effectively. And there's just good stuff there, but I just don't know what he wanted.
I think that
it would have been great if we had 2 other episodes with him, you know?
Yeah.
But
I really think that, I don't know, I think that and I think that's really what people are hitting on when they're like, oh, he wasn't a Chad or whatever, because they really just want to see him be Walter White or whatever, you know, just like kind of like kill people. And it's like, all right, cool, great. But I think, too, there's a more interesting solution where it's like, no, he needs to be good at his job. And I don't think that Boba Fett is good at his job. You know, I think when it comes down to
competency,
yeah, like he gets a lot of his people killed. He's not a good leader. I mean,
they even say at the end of the last time we see him, he says, like, oh man, maybe we're not cut out for this. Like this whole fucking season, and they're like, realize maybe we're not good at this. And it's just like, that's how we end?
Yeah.
And then we don't even end with him. We end with Grogu and Din blasting off in the N1 Starfighter or whatever. And it's just like, whose show is this? Obviously, it got hijacked. It's no secret, but it's so bizarre. And, you know, I don't mind Din's involvement, but like, maybe let's just not have Grogu. I think having Grogu really cinches it as like Mandalorian stuff. And, you know, that's why episode 5 and 6 are both great, but that's why episode 5 felt so good, despite being only about him.
That there was no Grogu, really?
Yeah, because it was just him, and it'd be interesting to see him exposed and without his, or not exposed, but like alone, I guess. I don't know.
I was honestly excited. Like, I'm a little bit disappointed that Grogu left.
I'm happy to see him back overall. Don't get me wrong, but like maybe
no, because I wanted to see him do his jazz. I wanted to see Mando be Mando, and not like have to be
Dad.
Because now, and there's
so we're agreeing.
Here's an improv scene. Is the rules of improv is you don't want. They put a vignette on those running away scenes. They put vignettes in weird places. Sorry, I'm just watching in the background. And it's like they have like a little vignette and then they cut to the full screen. Weird. Anyway, but like in improv scenes, you don't want teaching scenes because those aren't very good, and you don't want transaction scenes because those aren't like very good, and you don't get to learn a lot about the characters really if you're teaching or transacting. And it's just like now we've just got a bunch of fucking because he's gonna teach him how to be a Mandalorian or whatever, and I don't know. I just think that it could have been better. Ooh, I'm coming up on the spin shot. Here it comes. What a fucking ridiculous.
There's a good meme video of that I need to send you.
It's so fucking bad. It's so good.
Yeah. Like, is it? I mean, it's bad, but is it so bad it's good?
No. It's just so bad. It's just like, I feel bad for the actor because I definitely know that the director was like,
it was Robert Rodriguez or whatever, so yeah.
The director was like, do this. And then like it took like the actor was like, okay, I'm going for it. And it's just like it just looks ridiculous. And it's one of those things that
well, I guess.
No, he did it, as far as like spinning shots go, it looks great. You know, he did a great job of doing a completely unnecessary spinny shot. But there's also I was just watching it as like the giant droidecas come out, and like there's a moment where their shields aren't up and everyone's just looking at them like, are these on our team? And it's just
I hate that.
Why did you guys let them get their shields up?
Well, that's like also like how you're talking about tension. Like there was the tension and dread wasn't there because they were just being dumb idiots standing there, and I just like, this isn't normal. Like act. And then they don't like, even if they didn't have shields, I'm not going to, I mean, I feel like most of the people there are some kind of warrior or have some kind of experience fighting and shooting guns with some idea of, I don't know.
And or like
it's just like, let's get the fuck out of here. Or maybe let's use the huge gun on this vehicle, or let's just get the fuck out. They should have gone the fuck out. Before it blows up so fast. Like I really liked the whole plot because they're at the casino thing or whatever, and I didn't like that they're in the first place. I'm like, yeah, let's bolt. Like this isn't working out. And then them sending the communicating guy, as a kind of canary like distraction piece, and they bust out with the jetpacks. Like I was like, oh, okay, cool, that makes sense. Now get the fuck out and go back to the stronghold and do something cool there. Like why are we doing this in the streets even? Like and just like the whole like Boba and Fennec want to go to the palace, and they also have 2 6 starfighters, by the way, with fire spray or Slave 1 or whatever, and Din's new ship, and whatever the hell is there, the Rancor's already there, but then Boba, the lead mod girl, she's like, no, we're staying with our people, and Boba's like, you're right. And it's just like, what the fuck? No, get the hell out of there. Like this was why? It's just dumb. It's like the Battle of Winterfell not happening at Winterfell.
Yeah,
to an extent. Like this should have happened at Jabba's palace.
You know what's
it's such a cool iconic thing. Let's see it get destroyed. Fuck it, Yeah,
let's
rid
destroy
of it,
and start over.
I don't know. Like that was just dumb. And the streets of Tatooine are cool, but they don't make cool battlefields because it's just flat in the same buildings everywhere.
Yeah, that's why it was one of my favorite Battlefront 2 maps. I just fucking run through it and just line them up
from
and
experience.
You just like fucking force like sprint through them, and you just like absolutely take out stormtroopers. Yeah,
but the beauty with like if they did it in the palace. You could have gone away with making it still feel big with still fewer actors, with corridors and like one of the biggest, coolest scenes we ever saw with Star was a corridor scene, on the blockade runner, and A New Hope. You get called back to that. The ship strafing runs, get some starfighting combat. I don't know.
I mean, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, Battle Guy. But it feels like you're operating from a position of strength there. If people have to come out to Jabba's palace, you probably have like turrets that you can use.
You also wouldn't get ambushed.
You wouldn't get ambushed in various places. Your party wouldn't be split. Across the whole city, you would have your entire force in one place, which means that you also have a means of escape that's like both like a way to do like extra guns, but then also is a means of escape if it comes down to it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, that's pretty lame. Also, I just love that these droidekas, or these huge droidekas or whatever, have
Droidekas.
That they have these shields and people just keep
shooting them.
They just keep shooting them, and it's like, yeah, run away, just run away, because it doesn't also feel like
shoot the other pikes, because it just might. I mean, you're still going to get shot. You're still getting shot at by the big mobile tank that you can't do anything about. Why don't you just shoot the ones you can shoot? Also, like, if that thing has a shield, there's no reason it can't climb up or just go point blank, or just run them over, because the Mando can't permeate through it. It takes a Rancor to barely get through it. And then, I don't know, like, this is like, I mean, there's definitely we're getting encroaching on like thinking about too much.
Yeah.
But it's also, it's just too dumb in the sense that they're trying to tell things very simply. They're trying to tell battle simply. They're trying to tell a crime story very simply, and all these different things. And I have no issue with the characterizations and the decisions and these things. I mean, I have some issues, but like the stakes and the overall setting is so simplified, and playing with things such as drug trade, but like keeping it super sensitive, or like essentially a terroristic attack of a bombing of innocent populace, like, but then you don't see the repercussions of it besides an explosion. And
and that's the thing. That's why I think that they should have made him more like Don Corleone, because Don Corleone is a crime boss, but also whenever they're like, hey, let's fucking do heroin, bro. Let's sell heroin to these people. And he's like, no, dude, we're going to do what we're going to do. But we're not going to fucking do heroin. We're not going to, that's low shit, bro. We ain't doing that. And it's like, that could be where Boba's line is with Spice. He's like, listen, I'm going to help people do gambling, but I'm also going to make sure that people have jobs. But like
sustainable jobs, not at the expense of their daily life too, or like
at their forever life.
Productive.
Yeah, because you know what? If they're smacked out on Spice, then they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, I've seen what it does on other worlds, and it's like there's other vices we can have and things we can monetize, but like if people are zonked out, that's not the vibe. That isn't the way.
Yeah, where it's like, Jack Sparrow's like, guess what? I'm not going to fucking trade people. That's why he's branded a pirate by the East India Trading Company, is because he won't pirate people. And it's like, all right, yeah, he's still a bad guy, like as far as like being a crime boss and stealing and pirating and stuff. But he's got his line that everyone is like, oh yeah, I can get behind that. And also, I can root for him. In a way that's like, that's fun for me. He's not in Superman or Captain America or whatever, but Captain America, I came around on him. But you know what I mean? Where it feels like goody two-shoes. Yeah.
I mean, they knew that was something they could explore, and they did a decent enough job with that. With
I disagree.
Fennec just killing everyone. I think they kept into his principles, but like
I think they did, but I think they could have made it a bigger deal. Let's fight about it. I think they could have done a better job, like without moralizing, of being like, he is like a pirate or he's like a crime boss, but not an asshole. Like, because I feel like that might be what people want. And so they're like, oh, he's not fucking cool or whatever. But it's like, because again, it really just goes back to it doesn't feel like he knows what he wants, and we don't know what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Fennec killing everybody. Give it to him, dude.
Yeah, it's just such
Also,
a tonal
how
shift.
fucking strong is this? How strong is this Rancor's hide? It's like it takes how many blasts to its chest?
Strong as Beskar. Also, it's so lucky that every shot hits the Beskar armor. But anyways, yeah, the what we were talking about.
You're talking about
before
Fennec.
Captain America. Oh yeah, it's just like it just felt so. I mean, I guess they're waiting for the attack to be instigated because they just don't want to go and assassinate and do that. You know, they wanted to be of honor. You know, whatever. So maybe once they were attacked, it's fair game or something. I don't know, but it felt so weird that it felt truly, with her being gone, such a major character, and then having the scene just killing everyone, and also like hanging a dude, just like what? It just hits you like literally like. It's just weird that she wasn't there, and it's weird that she just killed all the leadership. You know, and if that was the plan, was like, all right, Fennec, go fucking go.
Hey,
then why
you're
are they
allowed
standing
now.
there? Why are they standing their ground? Get the fuck out. You know, what is fighting these essentially just cannon fodder? Like, what's the point of this? What stand are you making here? Get out. You didn't like Cad Bane was there, but like him dying doesn't gain anyone anything, or losing, or doesn't like. So it's just like, go back to the palace, you know, and let Fennec do her thing. Like,
if that's the vibe.
If you're waiting for them to make the decision, like, you didn't want to go out and murder leaders uninstigated, fair. But instigation happened. All right, things are in motion. Like, what were you even holding out for? You know?
You know what?
Like, they were fighting to the death or something. Like, it's just so weird.
Let me rewrite
it's
this.
Just
I
not
think
well thought out, and the action is unsatisfying. Both Mando and Boba coming out was cool.
Yeah,
that was fun. And then seeing the Rancor stuff was fun, but
it's cool because it's cool. It's gonna be cool, but you can fucking put it in a good story, and you can put it in a good way, and then it's like doubly satisfying when you have these cool visuals. Like, even this fight with Cad Bane is like, all right, this could be really fucking cool. And like, because I mean, look, we got the Tatooine streets, like we got the Tatooine streets. They're both silhouetted. We're doing classic gunfighter stuff, and it's like, this is gonna be fucking cool. And then it's fine, you know. But I just feel like we could have got there. I also love that Cad Bane wins the gunfight. He gets him down. Anyway, but so I think a more interesting way to go about this is if Boba Fett is an ineffectual leader and has to then become one, rather than it's like, it feels like we don't want to have him go through any journeys. Like, he can be like I feel like Fennec is also unexplored because Fennec is like, let's just fucking do it, bro. Like, for a lot of things, she sort of waffles. And it's just like, let's just fucking go. We're both fucking great at this. Let's just fucking murk everybody. And Boba's like, cool. No.
Yeah, and there's cool things, like cool dynamics of their characters that we're introduced to.
But we could go anywhere. Like, we could go where like she's like, I'm just gonna do this. Like, I'm tired of it, and I'm tired of playing this game. And if that's like sort of like the motivation there a little bit more, like, that's interesting to me. I think that's fun. If like there's like not necessarily that they're against each other, but that she's like, you're taking too long, and I got you. Like, we're on the same team.
Yeah. Or maybe she does a few cold-blooded things. Like, she's truly subservient to in terms of a chain of command. She speaks her mind, but like he doesn't. He listens to the mod girl about the palace, or not going to the palace, more than.
And that could be like, I think too. There's not interpersonal tension, where it's like he listens to the mod girl about it, and she like, which I'm sure they don't want to do because they want people to be on the same side and stuff. But like, that's when Breaking Bad is the most interesting. That's when these crime stories are most interesting, is when they're on separate teams, but they still have to work together. And again, we don't have the same sort of like emotional heft that we've built with Jesse and Walt, to have them sort of like hate each other, but then also need to work together. And clearly Disney doesn't want to do that sort of story with that, where it's like Fennec is sort of like, she's been kicked and been down her whole life, and now she's ready to fucking go. And then like you have Boba on the other side of that, who's also been like working for stupid people, and he's like, I don't want to be a bad guy. And she's like, we can be the best bad guys though. And then he's like, but I don't want to be a bad guy. I want people to do good. And she's like, I don't like, we are saying the same thing, but you're just being a pussy about it. You know? I don't know. Yeah. Obviously Disney doesn't want to tell that story because that's like good. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Fucking,
no.
Freaking got him,
it's
dude.
not, you're right. Like that's just interesting, and that works with the cool things that they set up. And it's just so frustrating that we hung with Den as much as I loved it, and it's still very cool. Like let's just hang out for the story we signed up for, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I mean, this could easily be a 2-hour podcast, but let's just jump to what do you give this overall?
Man, I don't know, dude.
Season?
It's like, I don't know, 2.5, 3, 3.5, somewhere in there. It's like, it kind of like fluctuates based off of, like, now that we've been talking about it, and I'm like mad about like looking at it and thinking about the different ways where it could have gone. It's definitely like 2.5 stars. Like, where it's like not awful, and I still like it. That's 2.5 fucking 2.5 episodes of Mando and Grogu.
I mean, that's undoubtedly the good stuff, but is that good?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good because it's season 2.5 of fucking
Mando.
Of Mando. So I'll give it 2.5 for the season 2.5 of Mando, and I'll give. You know what? How about this? I'll give the Book of Boba Fett. I'll give the Book of Boba Fett 3 stars. I'll give the Book of Boba Fett 3 stars. 3 back to tank soaks. And
soaks.
I'll give season 2.5 of Mando 2.5 out of 3 stars.
Wow.
2.5 out of
nice.
3 frogs.
I'd say I'd give this show a 4 out of 5 just because that ring world and that oneer. But realistically, it's a 3 out of 5 for me.
Ring World? What are you talking about?
Where we see Mando introduced.
Oh, yeah.
That place is fucking dope. And that oneer going up the oneer of him going up the elevator, dropping off the payment and talking to them and be like, fuck you, I'm out, and going down the elevator and walking. So good.
Yeah.
But yeah. What have you been watching?
I watched The Tragedy of Macbeth in theaters. Last Wednesday, I want to say. I don't know why you would know. I forgot to log it in my little thing.
What else you watch?
I feel like there's something else, but I don't know. Oh, I watched the Super Bowl, obviously. Maybe not obviously. I watched that sweet Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's a little bowl. It was all right.
It's a good little one.
Something about it didn't feel like a Super Bowl to me. And I don't know if it's because the home team. It's been 2 home teams in a row.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the Patriots aren't in it. That's all I've known. No, but I mean, every other Super Bowl without the Pats and have felt like a Super Bowl. This one just felt weird. I think part of it.
I think it's
is
a
it felt
COVID
like,
thing.
Well, I think not. I think this year it just felt like it's the ones that survived, because it could have been anyone. And to me, it's almost like the crazy playoffs was almost a detriment to the quality of this game or the satisfaction of the result, because it was just a fucking massacre of equal people. It was like a battle royale of it was just a battle royale, and these are the ones that are left. It doesn't feel like they were the best.
Neither the Chiefs nor the Bills made it, and I feel like it feels like the Bengals. Again, no disrespect to the Bengals. The Bengals were very good. I was like, oh shit, I might win $1,500 here with the last 4 minutes ago. I was like, oh shit, dude, I'm gonna hit on this, but then like the fact of the matter is that the Chiefs were like absolutely spent. I feel like from that like amazing game with the Bills, and it's like that's what it was. Because and I feel like you see this a lot, especially in basketball, or really it's like a lot of times it feels like the team that did the work to make the big comeback and like push the game into overtime either loses overtime or absolutely get demolished the next day.
Yeah. Hey,
but
we're only human.
We is only human. It's true.
I watched Hawkeye. I don't know why I said that. I watched Hawkeye, and I liked it a lot. I actually think I had a lot of fun with it.
I hated that one.
What?
No,
wow, maybe we do talk about it.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I really liked it. I thought it was the most fun. I really liked Loki, and WandaVision was good, but started to feel like a chore. But I don't know. I just liked this. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was good self-contained storytelling. We can talk about it or not, but right now I'm watching the end of Boba Fett, and I'm like, as Fennec is watching Boba get fucking bowed to, as she's the one who murked all the other leaders. Like, why is he getting the respect that she deserves? If she's the one who did the thing, why is she second to him? I mean,
that makes sense in that optics. They saw him fighting in the streets.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying, it's like it would be a cool dynamic that they could play with, but they're not going to if they did a season 2. Anyway,
they need to play with more of the character relationships and just maybe the characters themselves developing.
Everybody agrees too much. Everybody's on the same team too much. That's like one of the things that's like is a great storytelling thing, but it's like what was great about Han and Leia and Luke? None of them agreed with each other until but they were all friends, but they didn't agree with each other and they had different paths that they were on, like until they all came together. But like, I don't know. But everybody agrees. They're like, Boba Fett should be the leader, and Fennec's like, maybe not. Why not me? Or maybe she's angling, or maybe she doesn't care. I don't fucking know. But anyway, I like Hawkeye.
Yeah, me too. I really like that. I saw Alien Worlds was just like what life will look like on Alien Worlds kind of mockumentary thing. Really cool. And I saw a portrait of a lady on fire.
Is that the thing is that what we
Yeah, we watched a little bit at our friend's house.
I slept.
Yeah, you sleepy boy. But yeah, then also a portrait of a lady on fire. Very
okay.
A lot of tension in that movie. Like it was nice, I guess, to like live in a simple space, I guess, just like this island and that house, and the subtleties and the tension between the two characters was so good.
It's on my list.
It's just like, oh, you haven't seen it? Yeah,
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's just, it's just like the sexual tension. Just the general tension is so tight. It's just like that. It's just like falling apart at the seams, but it does such a good job of keeping it together. Mainly just in part due to the time period it is, and even just with any relationship, then the speed things move.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just
Dave Pasquazi.
Really cool.
Oh, that's who that guy is.
What guy?
I was the guy who's the Twi'lek, the dude Twi'lek. Hold on, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
He's a famous improv guy.
Yeah, I saw somewhere that him and Amy Sedaris' second son or something. Something.
Second City.
Second son.
Oh wow! I was like, oh, that's crazy. Huh? That's cool as shit.
But yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
That was our episode of Book of Boba Fett. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. Hey,
Hope you
I
enjoyed
love
us
you.
talking about it. I do hope you enjoyed it. I hope you
enjoyed it,
don't
and I
know.
hope that you don't. I hope that you enjoyed it the same way that because I enjoyed it. I don't want my distaste or anything that I've said to take away from any enjoyment. Hey, there's a mid-credit scene that I didn't see because I was so disappointed. Oh, Cobb Vanth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it's
sorry.
Cobb Vanth.
Spoiler alert.
It's not that interesting. It's like, cool. Cobb Vanth is back.
Oh, and Thundercat.
I'd rather it be Cad Bane or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I figured Cobb
Maybe
Vanth was
there's
going to
a
be
Cad-
back. I didn't need this.
Well,
tease.
because he's got a face now.
He's got a face now.
Well, like it's that famous actor, Timothy Olyphant. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. But yeah,
Anyway,
that
I
was
hope you
a-
enjoyed
I-
this
we-
show. I hope you
Yeah.
enjoyed Boba Fett, and I hope that they continue to make it. And I love you for listening. If you made it this far, I wanna buy you a soda water and talk about life. That's it.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right,
good.
as they say in Tatooine.
Ichuta. That's it. That's a curse. I don't know what I just said to people, but it's a curse. I know that it's a curse.
Chesco Sebulba. All right, bye.
Just 'cause of Bulba.